say hi if you are tuning in live, and if you're here for the replay on YouTube, let me know that you're here for the replay, and also let me know where you're located. I love learning where my viewers and my followers are located and where you're tuning in from. I think that's really, really cool. Welcome to the From 9 to 5 to Entrepreneur vlog. I'm Kara, and I am your host. And I quit my full time job back in October 2021 to pursue entrepreneurship and my passion projects full time. And this is my journey. These are my insights. This is my real time feedback of how it's going, so that you can also start or continue on your journey from 9 to 5 to entrepreneur. So, today I wanted to talk about some updates since my last vlog, which was a month ago. And I realized that when I created this vlog, my intention was to create almost daily vlogs on this, but I realized I want to make sure that I'm actually working in my business and not just talking about it all the time. So I did stagger a lot, and I feel like this will be a monthly vlog or bi-monthly vlog, just depending on how much updates that I have. Um, and I'm going to keep it real. So today was really hard. Um, it started off as a really good day. I had a meeting with a coach about helping her with her one on one program as her manifestation and mindset coach. And we had a really good chat, and we will be doing a follow up chats on Tuesday. And then I need to put together a Google form to help clients sign up for their sessions with me. And I want to let you know that Thursdays are usually my days off. It is Thursday today. And there was something in me that normally doesn't do this, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to meet with her on my day off because she asked me if I was free on Thursday, and she doesn't know it's my day off. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll do Thursday. And I realized that, I don't have strict guidelines for myself. And I realized that there are some things where I've said no to my own guidelines, and then it would backfire on me, and I'd get into something that just wasn't for me. But this one was not the case. I could tell that this coach was really genuine, very down to earth, and we were very aligned. Um, and I got confirmation of that because I was actually going over my website and I was reading out loud all the things, um, to get into the energy of my business. And I realized that in my description where people apply to work with me, I actually say I'm a manifestation and mindset coach. So I was like, oh my God. Because I was like, manifest and mindset coach. That is a really specific term, but it also sounds familiar to me. And it's interesting because she actually had a manifest and mindset coach before, right? And so I was like, oh, okay. So this was already created in a different reality. And then I was just an aligned match to it, and we found each other. I was looking for someone like her, she was looking for someone like me. It worked out from what I've heard. So yeah. So that went well, and then I was fighting again with myself to go to a coffee shop. Um, and the reason why I wanted to go to a coffee shop was because I had this visual in my mind this week that I would go to a coffee shop on my day off, my Thursday, and just sip a coffee in the booth and read my book. And I'm very grateful to say and proud to say that I did do that. But I was fighting a battle in my head. And, just saying this to you, I didn't realize I was repeating a pattern that I had over 4 years ago that really pretty much set me off to a downward spiral. And I realized that when I am fighting between myself to pick joy or not joy, because this thing really genuinely gives me joy, and thankfully I made the decision fast instead of waiting 5 years like I did before. Because yeah, 5 years. I said over 3 years, but no, it was over 5 years ago. Um, Basically, the thing was like I wanted to buy the Dyson Airwrap, and I kept looking for evidence on the Dyson Airwrap being good, but all I could see was evidence of why it wasn't good. But in my mind, I kept saying, I want this, it's really good, but I kept trying to justify it. So I'd ask my friends, I would look at the internet, everyone would say they wouldn't do that, and they just gave me free rein to do what I wanted to do, and then ultimately I chose my friend's opinion and the internet's opinion. And I have to say that I was not happy after that. And some people might think, oh, but it's just an Airwrap. And I'm like, it's not just an Airwrap. It's literally, letting myself actually invest in things that bring me joy. Because I grew up thinking and learning that you couldn't really invest on things that bring you joy, right? You always had to pay bills and suffer and that kind of thing. So I feel like that's what happened today. And I'm learning to get out of it. And I realized the reason why it happened today, and I've talked about this many times on this channel, is because of cash flow. So let me keep you up to speed here. Since our last vlog last month, I actually got a financial literacy team slash financial advisors to help me with my financial situation. And they really have helped me out and feel better about my finances. But I have to admit, it was very scary at first because literally they told me that I needed to, talk to some of my creditors and just tell them, hey, this is all I can pay, but I gotta wait until I actually make this money, and actually saying no to these creditors and collections agencies now so that I can save money up and pay off my one credit card that I have that's actually open, and then use that when I actually need it. And oh my god, what was supposed to be like just really easy and free flowing for me, some weird reason my ego stepped in and it was like, no, this is so scary. But you know what? I didn't listen to that voice. And I said, let's do it anyways. So I did it. And yeah, um, I got a missed call today. And I didn't pick. I was sleeping. I was actually sleeping. So, um, but yeah. And they did leave a voicemail. I haven't checked it. I will check it eventually. Um, but yeah. And then today I actually got on to an interview with a reporter um, for an experience that I had with a debt settlement company. And I said a lot of things that, I just didn't feel good about saying. Like, it was really good that I expressed myself and I was truthful about my answers. But at the same time, I just felt like I was, like, being negative or shaming someone. And I realized that, now that I say this to you, I realized that I was feeling that way because I had a recent event back in January where someone said that what I was saying was negative. And I realized I really did take a hit on that. That really did affect me. And I'm recovering from it. I'm healing from it. And, I tried to really enjoy my day today. And I found out that my dad had to go to the hospital because his back was hurting. And he's still there. And he's still, like, waiting. He he got tested by some of the clerical staff, so I hope that he'll be okay. And yeah, me and my family are rooting for him, and my friends are too. I even told ChatGPT. Um, and I feel like such a relief just saying that here. So thank you for holding that space for me and for listening. And, when that happened, I was like, oh my God. I was getting really worried because I was like, oh my gosh, like, I feel like this is a sign, a lesson for me, actually. One, to step up my game and get some cash flow in so I can also help out my family. Because I realize, like, it doesn't serve anyone for me to be broke or not wealthy or not rich. Um, and I was also told by my financial advisors to go find a job, get a job, get any kind of job just so that I can start increasing my cash flow and, put that towards paying off my debts and like getting it down really, really fast so that I can start, building up my credit score and using my credit score for places that I want to rent. And I talked about this with some friends as well, and some friends are like, yeah, like places will still let you rent even if you don't have a good credit score. And I realized, like, yeah, that's very true. I also realized that there are places that do require credit scores that are the places that I want to rent, right? And so I realized that this is all working me towards the life that I would like to live, and I'm doing my best to just live in the present, right? When you live in the present, you actually manifest much faster than always thinking about the future. So, yeah. Um, but yeah, so a lot of things happened today, and I don't regret any of it. I'm just grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful that we're all alive and well, and I'm grateful that my dad's getting the support that he needs and the care that he needs. And yeah, I thought about it. I thought about going back to a 9 to 5. And I have been actually looking at some really good 9 to 5s and some good like side jobs and that kind of thing. And I've been also getting a lot of like different push in the right direction as well. Like my mom just recently reminded me again to take a look at the stuff that I have around and sell it, right? Sell it, remove it, donate it, get rid of it, whatever, do something with it. um, because yeah, it's taking up space, and it's okay to take up space, but at the same time, it's like, do I need these things, right? And if I don't, then who could use these things? Um, yeah. So yeah, I just realized that I'm just so tired of worrying about money, and I'm just so tired of living like I'm in high school again. Although high school was a great time, I don't really want to go back to that time, and I would like to, you know, live the life that my inner child and my childlike self had always dreamed of. And, I don't regret any of the decisions that I made. I know that I made them in good faith, and I made them based on where I was at and where I needed to be, and that's okay. That's what I did at that time. And now I'm at this time where I'm like, okay, I'm learning more about money management, financial literacy, um, and I'm not afraid to ask for help and like collaborate with people, right? I realized that I was trying to do it all by myself, and it's tough when you do it all on your own. And I also realized that there's different ways of doing it not alone, right? You can do collaborations, and you can still get paid for collaborations. Um, and you can also hire a mentor or a coach, or you can work alongside one, collaborate with one. You can get supported in so many different ways, that kind of thing. And I also realized that if I really, really, really want to live that wealthy life and to actually help others become wealthy, I must be wealthy myself. This is very interesting because it's kind of different from all the other things that I have been guiding people on and teaching myself, because I realized like you can still be a life coach even if you haven't lived like lots of life, right? Like you can still be a very good life coach, right? Because you're coaching someone, you're asking them questions, you can get trained for that and that kind of thing. Um, but I feel like if you want to attract ideal clients, it's about embodying, right? Embodying the emotions, um, the version of you that already has those clients, right? And attracts those clients. And so that's what I've been learning actually is to embody a more positive person who's actually enjoying her life, living her life to the fullest and stuff. And I realized that some of the things that I've been doing recently have been not making me feel very wealthy or like I am living my best life. Like, there's a lot of things that I've done that have been making me feel really poor. And, that is valid. That is okay. I realized that's what it was, right? Um, and that's okay. Like sometimes we just have like weird, tough days and then they pass, right? I also did an energy release session yesterday, so I feel like that is still like, debriefing, that is still processing, and that is okay. I'm not gonna rush myself through that. But yeah, today was hard. Today was hard, and I realized that the best thing that I can do for myself is have that consistency. Right now that I've implemented these new things to help me move forward in my life a little bit better, like, oh my god, it's really, really nice to be able to, like, you know, not pay something and then be able to pay it later, right? Like, it buys me some time, buys me relief and energy so that I can actually make that income to pay that back, right? Um, and I realized that, I don't want to be in this position anymore where I'm constantly worrying about money and hearing feedback from other people about complaining about money. And I feel like that was the real reason why I was hesitant on moving back here because I realized that it's a hot topic, right? And I understand why. Because I do not feel abundance when I'm living here. And I realize that this is something that I consistently must feel in order to make these things more abundant. And that is actually something that I've seen evidence and results from because literally the other day we just got our lights fully like changed out. The bathroom looks like a wonderful like makeup studio now because the lights are so bright and everything in there. So I know that like my reality is shifting, it's changing, it's adjusting, right? And just because today was hard doesn't mean that I can't be consistent with my practices moving forward. And I'm really happy and grateful and proud of myself for doing these things because I have been focusing on gratitude. I bought a brand new notebook that, when I hold it, I just feel so full and loving and refreshed and fulfilled. And when I use it, I feel like so full and fulfilled and studious. It reminds me a lot of like, when I was going to school, I felt so abundant. Um, and I actually didn't have a lot of money when I was going to school, but I just felt so abundant because I was in my university of my dreams. I was hanging out with really cool friends. I had all the notebooks and stationery I could ever want, And the biggest thing was I was able to actually choose what kind of stationery I used. um, so that was really cool. That made me feel so abundant. I have an air conditioner in my room. I've got the cold breeze blowing through my windows. That makes me feel abundant. I've got food. I've got tea. I've got water and apples and fruit and oracle cards and books. Like, I am filled with so much material abundance too. And something that I realized after, I heard that my dad went to the hospital was that the lesson was to focus on the wealth and abundance of my relationships, because that is something that I'm actually really wealthy and abundant at, right? I might not be wealthy or abundant in money, but I'm super wealthy and abundant in relationships and people. And that was probably what the universe was trying to get me to realize in the first place that I failed to notice, right? And I realized that when I noticed that in the past, that's actually when my money started to grow, which is very interesting. And I didn't come to this conclusion until I was on YouTube and I had just finished my good evening meditation. And then I started to cry. It was also almost the full moon. And I was like, what am I going to do about my finances? Right? Because I was so scared of doing the stop payment. I was so scared that people would come after me. I was so scared of being taken to court. I was just worried about all the stuff that could happen because I said yes to myself and no temporarily, right? And no, not yet. To these creditors, right? These collections places and collections agencies. And as I started crying, I noticed that there was like a what to check out next or whatever on YouTube after the video was done. And I noticed there was this video by Marissa Peer, who I used to be really triggered by in the past, and I didn't really like watching her because she like was just so calm and like not emotional with her videos. But like I watched some of her videos and my friend really like loved her videos. Um, it just spoke to me, so I clicked on it, and it was basically exactly what I needed in that moment. And like the universe was so fast in bringing me the information I needed. It was literally Marissa Peer telling the story about how she became wealthy from not having a lot. And the takeaway from that video was that she focused on what she was rich in, which was her relationships. She had her family, she had food, she had the clothes that she had, and she would just pretend every single day that she was wealthy and rich. And even if she didn't have a lot of money, and I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. And I'm so grateful and thankful that this video came in. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to focus on the relationships that I have. This is a lesson that I did learn many years ago, but I think I'm relearning it again. And hopefully for the good and the better. So, yeah, I'm going to focus on what I have right now that feels wealthy and abundant and rich to me, and be consistent with it. So, thank you so much for watching and for listening, and for letting me be vulnerable with you. And I will see you next time on another vlog of From 9 to 5 to Entrepreneur. Bye.